Jackie, you'll start off immediately. Yeah, it's going.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning from wherever you are. Good morning from Kenya, from East Africa, and from all over the world. Welcome to this session on insights on the agriculture tour that we have scheduled for Israel from the 24th to the 30th of April. My name is Jackie Nyandeje. I am the team leader for Ethics and Integrity Institute, an institute that is global, mainly concerned and mainly working with organizations to mainstream ethics and integrity. And secondly, we are very passionate about agriculture. We are very passionate about health issues. So we do organize study missions to different countries. I will be that brief for now, and I want to give this opportunity to my colleagues to also introduce themselves. And I'll go straight to Joanna.
Thank you, Jackie. My name is Joanna Wanjiku. I'm a Trade Officer and Business Development Manager here at the Embassy of Israel to Kenya. I specifically work at the Israel Trade Mission to Kenya, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Joanna. I'll move on to Grace.
Good afternoon, good morning from all over the world. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Grace Awor, and I'm the co-founder and team leader at Agri Innovation Hub. Agri Innovation Hub is an agribusiness company that highlights on technology to do with agriculture, how we can make agriculture be better and maximize on production in agriculture. We also have, we are also developing an app called Agri Hub Soko, whereby we are going to be aggregating potatoes and farm produce and selling to bulk buyers from small scale, particularly small scale farmers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace Awor. And I'm going to Tommy now, the gentleman in the crew.
Hello, everyone who is watching and listening. My name is Tommy Okiror. I'm the sales representative for Avnon Academy. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Tommy. So, ladies and gentlemen who are watching us from wherever, the three organizations that are involved in driving this agricultural tour to Israel are Agri Innovation Hub, represented by Grace Awor. She has introduced herself. Myself, Jackie Nyandeje from the Ethics and Integrity Institute. We have the support of the Israeli Embassy, and Wanjiku has introduced herself. And we have also very able support from Tommy, who has also introduced himself. We'll move on to the next session, and I'll now invite Joanna to give us just a brief overview about Israel. We move on to the next session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Grace, would you please allow me to share my screen?
Kindly, Jack is a co-host. Kindly make her.
Yeah, I will.
Just allow her. Thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'm still not able to share it. Can you make me the host instead?
Okay. Jackie, kindly.
Okay. There you are.
I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so as I just mentioned, my name is Joanna Wanjiku. I'm the trade officer at the Israel Economic Mission to Kenya. We work as the economic arm of the Embassy of Israel to Kenya. We have 3 trade officers and an economic officer who's also in charge of the other accredited countries. That is Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi, and Seychelles. I specifically handle the agriculture and healthcare sector, hence the reason why I'm here. So a brief about the Israel Economic and Trade Mission to Kenya. We are an agency under the Ministry of Economy and Trade, and our mission is to promote, enhance, facilitate trade and investment, and also research and development between Kenya and Israel. And of course, we also work to develop partnerships, strategic bilateral partnerships and collaborations between companies in both Kenya and Israel. So we mainly focus on about 5 key sectors when it comes to promoting Israel and Kenya relations. And these are based on the areas where we feel there's some convergence and synergies between the two countries. So first of all, of course, is agriculture. Israel is a powerhouse when it comes to agriculture technologies. And we cover everything from fertilizers, pesticides, manufacturing companies in agriculture, project companies that deal with turnkey projects from start to finish in all the key agricultural subsectors, dairy, avocado, crops, and all that. We also deal with other agricultural experts to do capacity building training, both here in Kenya and also in Israel. We also deal with cyber defense and cyber security as a sector. My colleague handles that. We also deal with medical devices, everything from life sciences, digital health, telemedicine, early diagnosis, and mobile health. We also deal with water technologies, from water management, water treatment, desalination, filtration, irrigation systems. Israel are very well known for drip irrigation, which is also part of agriculture and the likes. And lastly, of course, we deal with homeland security or national security. I think that goes without saying. Of course, we do not shy from other sectors, but these are like the core focus sectors that we deal with. A few of our activities when it comes to agriculture. So we do online webinars to sort of bring together Israelis and Kenyans to showcase how we do business in Africa for any Israelis who are interested in coming into our markets. We also deal with tours. We've done avocado tours before, we've done dairy tours for farmers who want to go and see with themselves these technologies that they hear about from Israel, the irrigation systems, the fertilizers, how they do their whole turnkey projects when it comes to agriculture. So we organize for these tours as well. Webinars, I've already talked about them. Israel County Agri Fairs, so we're targeting to go to each and every county in Kenya and do an Israel County agricultural fair for that specific county, because each county has its own agriculture sectors that they want to deal with or they want to promote. So we deal with we do agricultural fairs in each county. We're planning on doing them this year in Meru and maybe Nyeri. We also have international conferences that we take physical delegations to Israel to attend. This year we have Israel's Agri-Tech Israel. It's going to happen on September 2022. So hopefully we'll be having another session such as this one with Jackie and Grace to organize the same, and Tommy as well. Some few pictures of previous events that we've done. This is the Embu County Agricultural Fair that we did last year in January, all given the COVID conditions. We followed all of the rules and were able to have about 400 people attending this agricultural fair in Embu. We had 8 Israeli companies that showcased their solutions, from energy solutions, from fertilizers, from irrigation systems and the likes. And we also had some members from the Embu County government and the Embu County showcasing the agricultural products in coffee and the likes. This one is when we did an agricultural avocado tour. So we took a few farmers, we took about 50 farmers to an orchard, a nursery. We took them to see the irrigation systems. We took them to see the seedlings, and it was a very successful event as well. So this is the avocado tour that we did. So that's it from me. Here are my contacts in case anyone would like to reach out, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Very brief yet very insightful. We appreciate, I think our viewers must be learning more about Israel. That's quite impressive. And I think that sets the stage on why we are partnering with Israel specifically on this agribusiness. Thank you once more, Joanna. I'll now move on to Grace Awar. Grace, kindly enlighten our viewers on the background, objectives, and benefits for this study mission, which we have scheduled for 24th to 30th of April this year. Thank you. Is Grace there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, fine.
Thank you
Thank
you so much, Jackie, and thanks so much for the opportunity. First of all, why Israel? Israel is one of the countries that is a desert, and when you look at the climate change that we're having currently, farmers are all not so sure about the climate. So Israel has managed to grow their crops in these harsh climatic conditions. That's why we chose Israel, because we feel that what they have been going through and managed to sort out is what we are going through. Just to give you a background, we are farmers. Me and Jackie are all farmers. We are farmers. We've gone through quite a bit of challenges in farming. You find that when you're in the farming business, you are not so sure. And most of the times you go in thinking that you're going to make that money, and you don't make that money because of the challenges that are unforeseen. Some of these challenges are fertilizer, some of the cost of fertilizer, some of these challenges is the climate, for some of these challenges is water. So if Israel or the Israelis can grow their crops in these harsh conditions, and they are managing to, because the Israelis are 8.7% or 8.7% million Israelis, and they manage to feed 80 million people. That means their production is way beyond, and they've gone around this by making sure that they have top of the notch technologies that reduce their production costs. So if we can learn that from them, that means we have a serious opportunity of making a turnaround in this sector, because we find that there are no job opportunities in the country, and agriculture can and will give the young people who are getting out of university or people who are getting out of colleges an opportunity to make a living out of agriculture. And if we can manage to feed our population, and if we can manage to reduce our costs, so that whatever you're planting, you will maximize on that production, and you'll maximize on what you get from there. So that is one of the reasons why we chose Israel. The other reason is mechanization. They are well mechanized. And if you can learn from there and come and implement it here, then I think we will be much more steps ahead. And the reason why we are even targeting more of individuals is because we've realized that for you to get into a sector, that means you believe in it, and that means that you've seen that there's an opportunity, but there are conditions that are making you not able to attain those. So if we can go around the reasons why we can't attain that, then that will be okay. So when you look at like milk production and dairy and poultry, Israel is way ahead of almost all the countries. So the other reason why Israel is organic, you'll find that now we are experiencing a lot of diseases, especially cancer, because of the inputs that we are using. We don't know how to, we know how to use them, but we are not just getting it right. So if we can learn how to go organic also, that would be a plus for us. So those are some of the reasons why we chose Israel, and we want to implement whatever they have on that end to our farms and let them grow. Because if they are 20% arable land, and you realize that their topsoil is not, you can't use it, so they import the soil. But as we have everything, so I think we can be way much ahead if we just go and learn and implement. So those are the reasons why we chose Israel, and that is why we are on this mission, so that we can change the narrative in agriculture in this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grace. That was quite elaborate, and I would give an opportunity to my colleagues to just add on some of the reasons why we are running this Agri Agri Empowerment Study Mission. I just want to start by saying that for my countrymen, there are very, very simple examples that we can give, which shows why we need to move to the next level. I'll give an example of sugar industry in Kenya. More than 7 million Kenyans, 7 million families rely on the sugar sector. And yet, our cost of production in sugar industry is well known. It's way ahead of every other country. And we import sugar from our neighboring country, for instance, and it gets here at a quarter of the price that we are selling sugar in this country. So that shows you that we really need to move to the next level. I'll give an example, my personal example. I was an onion farmer. And after all the inputs, if I don't sell these onions at 50 shillings, I cannot even make a coin. And yet, onions are imported from Pakistan, they're imported from Egypt, they're imported from our neighbor in Tanzania, and they get to this country, particularly the ones that come from Pakistan and India, they reach this country at 10 shillings a kilo. So that shows that there's some cost of production element that we need to deal with as a country. Again, as a continent, we are an agricultural-based continent. I mean, by and large, over 50% of our continent relies on agriculture, but we don't seem to be getting it right. So the main purpose and the main objective of this empowerment study mission is to ensure that we create wealth and employment using the most efficient and effective methods. So all our viewers, our aim is to ensure that we create wealth, we create employment, which is critical for our continent, which is critical for the globe. But we can only do so if we're efficient and if we're effective. The reason people go out there to the first world, if I may call them, to seek employment there is because there are certain standards that are set, you know. I know, for instance, if I was to go and work as a laborer, you know, in the US, I will not be paid less than $14 an hour, things like that. So that makes it easier for people to move to other areas. If we start this kind of agriculture empowerment study mission, it's not a once-off thing. We are saying we want to move with you, we want to invest with you, we want to learn with you, and we want to ensure that you keep on improving, you know, continuous improvement. I think the Japanese call it something, Kaizen. So this is the reason that we are running this study mission. And thank you so much, Grace, for putting it together for us. I want to also invite Tommy to say something about this.
Thank you so much, Jackie and everyone else. Basically, like my colleagues have already mentioned, we can learn a lot from our brothers in Israel through various ways. For instance, there are so much in the ways they advance their economies. A typical example is they have what we call kibbutz. Kibbutz is just a communal settlement in which all wealth is held in common, and the profits are reinvested in settlement. So everyone receives an equal monthly draw from the kibbutz administration, regardless what they do or how much money they have invested in the projects. In the kibbutz, you will find a community which has about, the minimum is about 50 to 300 households. These households, like I've already said, put together their resources to perform or to practice commercial. It could be commercial farming, it could be an investment like a hotel. But when you get there, you'll always find a lot of business activities with value addition in those communities. So I believe if we visited these communities as countries of Africa, we can be able to advance our technology, we can be able to share the expertise and experiences that our brothers in Israel do have, and also how they got to the level where they've gotten to. And I believe we can make a difference in our daily lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tommy. Added to what Grace has just explained, very exciting models that we would actually observe and learn. And what I pick out from the kibbutz is actually from research to development of the seed, to production and to value addition. So the whole chain, the whole production chain is housed under one community. Thank you very much for enlightening us on that. And then I would just want to tell our viewers that we have a lot of interest. We have recorded, I think about 70 people have recorded interest in this particular study mission. 16 of them are fully registered. The registration process is ongoing, and we encourage you to kindly register before the 30th of this month, 30th or 31st of March. And we encourage you, we are getting a very, very interesting questions. Oh, how are we going to get the visa to Israel? Oh, what are the requirements? And we are really responding to this. Some of them are saying, oh, some of our colleagues are shying away because there are certain documentation they think they may not have. But I want to encourage you not to shy away. Engage with us, reach out to us, register, particularly if you are a farmer who wants to move to the next level, if you are a farmer who wants to learn, if you are a farmer who has struggled like me and Grace, please come on board so that it is not a once-off. As I said, it's not a once-off learning. We want to hold your hand throughout your production. You can see from the organizations that are involved, we have the Agri Hub, you know, that's something that can facilitate your business and facilitate your sales. We are looking at agriculture not as just any other economic activity for the sake of it. We are looking at agriculture as sustaining our livelihood. We are looking at agriculture as a business elsewhere in the world, and I think Wanjiko can confirm this, that the farmers really are the richest. When I visited one of our countries in Africa, I visited Malawi, and I was told all the high-rise and the tall buildings in the middle of the city belong to farmers. So really, really farmers can create wealth. Farmers can be wealthy, but only if we learn and do it the right way. So I want to really encourage you. We are working very, very closely with the embassy, and we are sure that if you're a person in good standing, you will be able to travel to Israel and learn by observing. And I want to say, after this, we are going to divide ourselves into different sectors. So we are going to divide the farmers into different sectors with different interests. So those who are interested in vegetable, for instance, will form one group and will hold their hands through. Those who are interested in dairy and poultry and so on, we will have different sectors. So we want to tell you that this is the beginning of a very, very long journey. It is not, it is not just a once-off. I'll keep repeating that. We are not just doing it once and then we will stop at this April 1. So thank you very much. At this point, I want to get it back to Grace, and we can open up for any questions, any comments, any suggestions. I believe we can respond to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Now, just to add on, the reason why we extended the registration until 30th is because of the request from the Israeli embassy, because of a lot of interest that people have expressed. They want to join, so they were asking for more time. That is why we extended it till the 30th of this month. So kindly, you can join us. You still have time. Get in touch with us through our Facebook page, Agri Innovation Hub. Through our, you can message us, Agri Innovation Hub. We'll get back to you. We'll just leave our contacts below. You can get to us through any of us, and then we'll give you more information. So we are looking forward to this trip, and there are so many. The guys have already paid. That's the beauty about it. There are guys who've already paid, and we are looking forward to leaving on the 24th for the 6 days. It's going to be an exciting 6 days. For the 5 days, it's going to be learning. And as Jackie mentioned, we'll start from seed all through to value addition. And this is for all the sectors in agriculture, whatever those institutions are doing, be it cherry tomatoes, be it cucumbers, be it any vegetable. Then we'll go to poultry, then we'll go to animal feeds, how to make animal feeds, how to do water management, we'll do pests and diseases, we'll do nutrition on crops, every single aspect of agriculture. And then we are also going to visit one of the institutions that only deals with machinery on value addition. So if you're interested in adding value to whatever you're growing, that would be a place that you'd not want to miss. So it's going to be covered. Anything to do with agriculture is going to be covered. Thank you.
And as usual, when you go to a new place or when you go to a place, you are also a tourist. And so there are other things that you may, you may visit certain landmarks. And of course, Israel is synonymous with religion. I just want to invite Tommy just to highlight 1, 2, 3 places that we have considered for the team that will be visiting Israel. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Grace, once again. Jackie and Joanna. Well, there are quite a number of places in Israel where one can actually experience where actually Jesus Christ walked on this earth. Some of the most interesting places that one can do an excursion when in Israel is Garden of Gethsemane. There's also Jericho, there is also Masada, there is also Dead Sea, the lowest point on earth, where if you enter water, the water is actually salty, and if you go into the water, you won't be able to sink but float. And there's also a lot of value to the salty water and the mud in Dead Sea. There's also Nazareth. Those of you who are Christians, you know they're attached to Nazareth. There is also, Bethlehem. Sometimes we are restricted to Bethlehem because it is in one of the Palestinian areas. People get, but also it's a place to be, and you can also get to some of the places where they planned the agricultural excursions or tours are very close to Beersheba. Those of you who have read about Abraham, Joseph, Jacob, you'll be able to visit some of those places. And then Samaria is also very close to some of the places planned to take the delegations to visit. And it depends on one's denomination. Those who are Catholics, usually we prefer to actually take them to places that are managed by the Catholics, but also within the holy sites. And those who are Anglican and born again, there are also places to visit, like even River Jordan. Some people usually prefer to renew their baptism vows or even say a prayer along the River Jordan. So please welcome aboard. The package is inclusive of the excursions of the holy sites. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much for bringing it out on that angle on religion. I think I will now open it up for all of us if there's anything else that we can share. And starting with myself, our viewers, the Ethics and Integrity Institute, as I said earlier, specializes in capacity building on matters of governance, ethics, leadership, and integrity. Of course, we do much more than that. Our role is really to see that you can mainstream ethics and integrity within the organization, using, of course, the policies that are required, but above all, whether you can live your code of conduct as an organization. I did also mention that we are involved in conference tourism. We have visited over 25 countries in, I think, 4 or 5 continents, that is Africa, Asia, North Americas, Australia, and where else? Yeah. So we have been to those continents. And in any event, if you are interested in any tour, the reason we call them conference tourism is there's that element of being a tourist and just touring, but we also add it on with some learning or capacity development. So you're either going to study a specific issue on, like we have a program coming up on mainstreaming ethics and integrity, the Canadian experience. So we want to look at how does Canada manage the public service mainstreaming of ethics and integrity. And I also said we do empowerment missions like the Agriculture Empowerment Mission. We are planning for an empowerment mission to India, health empowerment mission, specifically to do with mental health, because as we all know, April is a mental health month. So we are doing a program in India on mental health, partnering with an institution there in India. We can give you more information if you are interested. Israel, we believe is going to be our biggest destination in the next 2 to 3 years. We also have something on agriculture coming up in Ethiopia in September, which we will share with you. So we are interested in exposing you, let me put it that way, exposing you. There's an old saying that they say, if you have never eaten other mothers' foods, you will believe that your mother is the best cook. So the reason why we are exposing you is to see and believe that there could be better cooks than your mother. But you can only do that by going to observe, going to interact, and going to network. And I think we didn't talk about that element of networking, which is so important. You know, when you go somewhere for the first time, nobody shows you the way the second time. So when you go to Israel for the first time, we are sure that you're going to make friends in Israel that will be of value to you, even thereafter this particular study tour. And I believe the investment is so modest. You know, the investment is extremely modest. Please reach out to us. We will answer all your questions. The visa requirements are really the visa requirements that are in most of the other countries. We will see how best you can secure that particular visa and travel to Israel and learn. I'm opening it up for any one of us to add anything else. I know Wanjiko should be leaving in less than 20 minutes now. She has something else to do at 11. So I'm opening it up. Please, maybe Wanjiko, you go first. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Jackie. I think from what I've heard so far, this is quite a comprehensive tour, and anyone who will be part of this tour will be lucky to get the empowerment that comes with it. From an agricultural point of view, I really wish I was a farmer, because I think there's so much the farmers that will go for this tour are going to learn, and when they come back, they'll be experiencing high yields, and it will be quite a success story for them. So I really look forward to hearing the outcome from our farmers who go for this tour. From an embassy point of view, we are here to support you. When it comes to visa applications, my advice is to start as early as possible, compiling the dossier of the documents that are required. In case of any challenges, feel free to reach out to us. We'll see how we can assist you together with Jackie. Yes, and you have my full support. From the trade mission point of view, if you need any contacts when you go to Israel, I'm sure you will get a lot of contacts. You'll build your professional network. You'll conduct the holy sites visit. It will be quite a comprehensive tour. But at the same time, if there are people you'd like us to connect you to, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to make the connection for you as well. Yeah, so thank you so much. And that's it from me.
Thank you very much, Joanna. We appreciate and we are really, really grateful that you have accepted to support this initiative. Please, we know that we will interact with many more of you at the embassy, not just for this one, but of course for others that we are planning. Can we go to Grace? Any other thing that Grace wants to add? I'm in a meeting, I'll call you.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you so much, everybody. First of all, we'd really, really like to appreciate the Israeli embassy. Joanna, we are really, really grateful. You've given us full support, and we are looking forward to working more with you guys. And you've really also enlightened us and taken us through what we are supposed to do, because we are in this all together. And we would also like to thank Tommy. Tommy, you've been such a great help. You've been such a great team leader. Thanks so much for working with us. And thanks so much because this is a new territory. And thank you so much for enlightening us on what we don't know and what we expect, and for being with us through this journey. And kindly, viewers, farmers, remember, registration is still open till the 30th. From the many inquiries that we have, don't be left out. Let's change the narrative of agriculture and let's make agriculture cool again. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Grace. Tommy, anything you want to add? Wow, we can't hear you.
I'm saying, sorry about that technological hiccup. I'm just trying to encourage everybody out there to make an effort to visit Israel, because Israel has got fascinating things that actually come in numerous packages. And I can assure you that your experience while in Israel will actually be a lifetime experience, since Israel has got a lot of natural wonders. There's a lot of high tech, and you will also be able to do business, profitable business with institutions in Israel, and also individuals. By the way, Israel is naturally supposed to be a desert, but more than 5 million trees have been planted, and they use wastewater to actually irrigate the vegetation in Israel. That's something that some of us who actually live in blessed countries like Kenya, like Uganda, most of the African countries receive natural rainfall. However, we are not able even to harvest rainwater. I can assure you, there is a city in the north in Israel where they harvest rainwater, and that same water is used for agriculture and also animal farming. And there's a lot, brethren out there. Please make sure that you get the opportunity of visiting Israel, and you will not regret investing in the trip to Israel. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Tommy. I think very, very well put, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers. I think on that note, I want to just give a small summary, which I was once told by my grandmother, and I thought she was joking. But having internalized it, I think she was absolutely right. She was an ardent farmer, and she was, of course, a peasant farmer in the village. And always early in the morning by 5, she was on her farm. And when she invited me, my grandchild, can you please go and help me plow? I desisted. Of course, I didn't want to soil my fingers. I felt that was a job for the low-end people, and I felt that I was not in that space. And I know so many resonate with my story. So many of us have been invited to this space of agriculture, but we shun it because it is dirty. It is so difficult, and we don't want to be there. But my grandmother told me something that has gotten me thinking to date, and perhaps that's why I've turned into a farmer now. She told me there is no wealth in this world that is not in the soil. And if you know of any, please challenge me on this one. She told me, be it gold or any other precious metals that anybody talks about, it is in the soil. Be it water, it is in the soil. Be it every food that we eat is in the soil. Of course, we appreciate that there are modern ways of farming where we don't even use soil sometimes. But that got me thinking how valuable farming is and how valuable farmers are. So on that note, I want to say thank you very much. Gone with the registrations. We are farming up our program, which we will share with you in due course. And that is all from me. I want to say thank you very much, Tommy, for your support. You are always there and you're always willing to listen, and you're always, sometimes we are making too many calls to you, but thank you for that time. Thank you very, very much, Grace. I think you have nailed it. Can I put it that way? The youngsters will tell you, Grace, you have nailed it. Thank you for being there all the time. Thank you for putting this out in the social media. And as a result, we are seeing the success. And of course, Wanjiko, we feel very indebted. We feel very honored to be associated with your trade mission with the Israeli embassy. And for us, we believe that it is all systems go. Thank you all very much. Asanteni sana.
Asante pia for enabling us have the opportunity to speak with you and the rest of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jackie, and may this be the first of many tours to Israel together.
Thank you. I assure you.
Hello, Jackie, kindly just stop it so that it can